This fight looks simple. But that's exactly why it's dangerous. One fighter is clean, precise, in control. The other doesn't just walk forward, he builds pressure, carefully. Mixing targets, stacking exchanges. And if you let him set that pace, it doesn't break you instantly, it builds until it does. But step outside his range, and he can be picked apart. And that's where this becomes dangerous. Because control like his turns pressure into a mistake. What happens when control never gets established? When every second on the feet starts adding up. When the fight stays uncomfortable. Longer than it's supposed to. Framing, timing, distance management, and blending his striking with grappling are some of the key tools Tatsuro Taira uses to establish control. Once he has it, he uses what he's learned from his opponents to keep them trapped and under pressure. Tatsuro Taira fights with structure. Everything is layered, entries, transitions, control. He doesn't chase chaos, he eliminates it, position over everything. And once he's in control, he stays there. That's how fights disappear against him. Joshua Van doesn't give you that structure. He disrupts it, constantly stepping forward. Constant decisions forced. Leg kicks early, body work underneath everything. Not for highlight moments, but for accumulation. And accumulation changes fights. Break the rhythm. Joshua Van needs to keep Tatsuro Taira under constant pressure, even when fighting off the back foot. Parrying strikes while walking Taira into counters can prevent him from settling into his rhythm and advancing comfortably. Once Taira initiates grappling exchanges, Van cannot afford to accept position at any point. Forcing scrambles and making Taira work will gradually wear him down. Van should also be selective with his kicks, throwing them mainly when Taira is moving, as Taira is excellent at catching kicks and turning them into grappling situations. Tatsuro Taira doesn't just set the pace, he engineers it, drawing opponents into his timing and forcing them to react on his terms. If Joshua Van wants to win, reacting alone won't be enough. Step 2. Drain the tank. Go to the body, again and again. Not just to score, but to take something every time. Because when the lungs start burning, the grappling changes. Entries get heavier. Scrambles get slower. And that's where the fight starts to shift. Step 3. Own the space. Van needs to take control of the center of the fight from the opening bell and deny Taira the ability to use his grappling threat to push him backward. If Van can keep Taira on the back foot, Taira will be forced to spend far more energy striking instead of walking Van into grappling traps or forcing clinch exchanges. Back him up, cut off the angles, and take away the space he needs to operate. Force the takedown attempts from too far out, where they're easier to read, easier to defend, and easier to punish. That's how you take control of the fight. This is where it gets dangerous, because against someone like Taira, you don't need to give him many openings. Just one clean entry can flip the entire fight instantly. Taira is a nightmare once he gets hold of you. He's exceptional at countering reactions, staying one step ahead, and keeping opponents trapped under his control. What makes him even more dangerous is his ability to capitalize on his own mistakes, turning bad positions into control-based situations in an instant, as you can see here. But this is where it gets dangerous, because against someone like Taira, you don't need many openings. Just one clean entry. This is a clash of pace. Here, we see Joshua Van mixing his attacks well, using oblique kicks with forward pressure to keep Royval off balance while advancing and layering in head strikes behind them. He even uses a Muay Thai clinch to land a knee once Royval's head is lowered and his vision is blocked. Van's ability to vary his offense is a big reason why his pace is so difficult to handle. On the other side, Tatsuro Taira uses framing to close distance and force a takedown attempt, and once he gets hold of Moreno, the dynamic changes instantly. Taira sticks to opponents like Blue, chaining control together and making his grappling pace overwhelming. This matchup is steady pressure versus controlled sequences. If Taira settles in early, He takes over. The longer the fight goes, the more it leans towards his game. Steady, controlled, relentless. Unless that rhythm gets disrupted early. If he's forced to work, forced to absorb damage, and the body shots start taking something away from him. Because if that doesn't happen, this turns into a grind Joshua Van may not win. The question isn't who breaks late, it's who forces the shift early. And that's exactly where Joshua Van wins. Final prediction, Joshua Van via third round TKO.